What's up, people?
How's it going?
How's everybody tonight? It's us again.
It's us.
Yes, indeed. We are the Williams. This is my lovely wife, Ramona.
Hi.
My name is Wilbert. And we're here again with another edition of Love Unscripted.
That sounds so corny. He's excited. He's excited about tonight. Okay.
So we'd like to just first of all thank you for allowing us in your home, your time, your evening, whatever time of day you're watching this video, and just to listen to our perspective. And we thank you that, having an open ear to hear what we have to say. So our topic on tonight is your habits impact your marriage. Yeah. So what do you mean by that? Well, there's good habits and there's bad habits. So how do they impact your marriage? Well, let's start off with good habits, right? So one of the things that I like doing, I enjoy doing, and is I always want to open the car door for my wife.
Yep.
It's something I do all the time. I don't even want her hand to touch the door.
That's a no-no.
I would rather she just wait until I'm situated, I can get to the door and let her in. To me, chivalry is not dead, gentlemen.
That's right.
So we definitely want to make sure and maintain that. For those of you that I would say may not do that, try it. I think that means a lot to your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally don't have to touch a door. That on the off chance that I do, it's almost like I have an outer body experience. It's like, wait, what are you doing? So yes, it is a very, very good habit. It even goes to when we go to the grocery store.
Yeah, that too.
If he goes with me to the grocery store, because every time he goes with me, we spend more money than I plan on spending. But anyway, when he does go to the grocery store with me, and we come out, we have our basket.
Mm-hmm.
He puts me in the car, and he unloads the basket and puts it in the car, and then we sail off into the sunset.
Absolutely. Another good habit that I know we both have is we have a routine. We have a routine where she goes grocery shopping a certain day of the week, and we have a either a dine in or dine out night.
Yeah.
Every week,
Yeah,
a certain day of the week.
Great habit.
And we give ourselves things to look forward to.
Yeah.
You always think, man, just one more day, and it gives you that feeling like once that day comes, you have that time for each other, those moments to experience each other.
Yeah.
Because we are both very busy. We have very busy jobs. We have busy lives. We have things that we do outside of work, like this, for instance. It's purposeful.
Yeah.
But I think those kind of habits, they do impact your marriage. It makes you more united, more one. It's not like you have to look at someone else and goes, hey, I need to do something to spice up my life or my day or my marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's things that you have in place that you're consistently doing that makes your marriage work, that makes the relationship better, that makes you more of a team, because you're on that schedule to make an experience out of your week every week.
Yeah. Were you finished?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was also going to say another habit that he has. Every time I come home from work or wherever, he meets me out at the car. So every day that I come home from work and he's here prior to me, which is a lot of the times,
Oh, wow.
he will come to the car, give me a kiss, and he will get my things out of the car. Like literally, I might just have to carry my water bottle, maybe my purse. You know, sometimes he'll even take my purse and the computer bag and the lunch bag, whatever it is, and he will bring it and put it in the house. And that is a habit that, you know, that is a signature Williams move. You know, and I come to look forward to it. I come to appreciate it, and I know that that is a sign that my husband loves me. That's, you know, I think that's one of his ways of showing love towards me. So yes, it has a huge impact on our marriage because we start talking about our day at that moment. Absolutely. You know, how was your day? How was your day? Oh, let me tell you. By the time we make it to the house, inside the house, we probably have discussed 1/4 of our day, just, you know, walking in the house. But, you know, then here again, that is a habit that definitely has an impact on our marriage.
Yes, you know, another habit that we do. My wife will. Okay, I'm just gonna brag my wife a little bit. So every day I go to work, and I get up very early in the morning. I'm up before the chickens.
All the chickens.
All the chickens.
And the roosters. And the birds get up early in the morning.
Going into work, and my wife is up with me, sending me off with a packed lunch. Walks me to the door. And
don't forget the note, honey.
And yeah, she puts a love note in there every time in my lunch. She puts a love note without fail, guys. Without fail, ladies. Yeah, I'm bragging my wife a little bit. But she does that, honestly, and I love it. And I read it every single day. It starts my day off. Oh my God, I love it. Thank you, baby. You know, and you know, we pray before walking away from each other in the morning, and this is all before 5 a.m. in the morning. And yeah, and my wife, she doesn't have to be at work until later, a couple hours later. But she's up with me. That's huge. And she could just rather say, you know, I'm tired, I want to stay in bed, I want to sleep a little longer. But she doesn't. She gets right up with me and starts my day before I even walk out of the house. Isn't that amazing?
You know, he just said something. This is not on topic, but you just said something that I think is going to be that's impactful for me, and so I just might as well say it in the moment. As he was saying that, I do get up every morning. It's a non-negotiable. And not that I have to. It's because I want to, and I feel like he deserves that, right? But when you made the comment that, you know, somewhere along the lines of, you know, I don't necessarily have to do it, I do it without fail. Even in my brain at that moment, knowing that that's a habit that I have, I thought, man, how even more intentional can I be when I get up in the morning with him? You know, so this is just a bonus, a little nugget. You know, how much more intentional? Is there anything else that I could do to even take this habit to the next level for him? Because it is, you know, to get his day off to a good start. No matter what's going on, no matter how tired we might be or whatever. So yeah, just a side note, you know, those good habits, make sure those good habits are, and if they are a staple in your marriage, like the things that we have mentioned, like go hard with them, you know, do it without ceasing, just, and do like I just said, I'm going to challenge myself to think of when I'm up in the morning, how much more purposeful can I be with him in the morning?
Mm-hmm. That's awesome, man. You know, another good habit my wife has, she's very clean. She's very organized. My wife's a planner, and I have to tell you, it makes life so much more easier. We're both planners. You know, we're both we're both taskmasters, if I can say that.
Tell the people, babe. Yes, we are.
But the way we work together in our home is so fluid because that's my wife's forte, and so I don't have to think about as much. I don't have to plan as much because my wife is always on her game.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Now, for the juicy stuff.
Yep.
So, my husband mentioned at the beginning that, hey, you have some good habits and you have some bad habits. So, we decided to start with what those good habits are. And now, let's look at those bad habits. And not just to give you guys a list of things that we do that are good and things that we do that are bad, but even questioning the thought of, what are there habits that you need to change that have an impact on your marriage? Are there any habits that you might notice in your spouse that they do that it would make things a lot better, change how you feel about certain things if they did change them? I'm even wondering, should you ask your spouse to change a habit that they have? Like, how do you do that? And what tone do you come to your spouse in changing? I'm asking all these questions.
That's good stuff, though.
Or even, when do you ask?
Yeah.
So just thoughts that I've had, thinking about this topic.
Were you finished?
Yep.
So keep in mind, when you're talking about your habits, and as you move throughout your day, you think about those things that your spouse has said to you on occasion. Hey, that bothers me, or what you said kind of got under my skin, or there may be some things that you may not even thought you did wrong, but it's just something you do that to you there's nothing wrong with it, but to your spouse it may come across a little differently. So you should always remember those things and ask your spouse, hey, is everything okay? Does that concern you, or is there something wrong? And give them an opportunity to be honest. And I say to the spouse, if you're asked that question, be honest. Be open, speak your mind, because it doesn't help when you don't. Because when you don't know, you just don't know. Remember, you're no longer two people. You're no longer two, but you're one. So if something concerns you that your spouse is doing, instead of you just sweeping it under the rug and tolerating it,
or being annoyed by it,
making
sounds or looks,
exactly. Just speak up. And a spouse that's speaking up, and a spouse that's listening to the spouse that's maybe listening, because someone is voicing concerns that your habits may somewhat annoy them. Be open to hear what your spouse is saying, because I can assure you that it will only be a benefit.
Yeah.
So you can turn what you thought, or what you two may have thought is a bad moment, into a blessing. Because now this is out on the table, and you're able to transform yourself, or change that, or work on changing it. Because nobody's perfect. There's no perfect husband. There's no perfect wife.
Right.
But through communicating about habits, it can definitely transform your marriage.
And what I heard you say in that conversation was, or that part of the conversation was, doing a check-in.
That's good.
Like just doing a check-in, because sometimes you might not even know that your habit is a bad habit, or your habit is something that rubs your spouse the wrong way or makes them feel a certain way. And so it's really up to, I think, both of you to communicate and have those conversations about And you know, depending on your relationship, it can be a serious conversation or it can be a funny conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but just make it true to what your marriage, you know, the how your marriage. What's the word I'm looking for? I want to say the foundation, but you know, what's true to your marriage? You know, there are some things that you can say in your marriage that you know you will both laugh off, and then you also know there are things that you might say in your marriage that might send each other off the deep end. And so, but having a conversation and you want to say something?
Good. No.
But having a conversation and being open about it, I think is going to be so important. And then, you know, trying to do it in a way that that shows love.
Mm-hmm.
I know it might be difficult because let's tell them, babe, about not too long ago I brought up a habit that he does. And I was trying to figure out the way to bring it up. I didn't bring it up in the dialogue room. I brought it up while it was happening. And I was like, okay, I need to say something. You want to say what it was?
No, go ahead.
No, you say it.
No. I mean.
Do you want to say it?
I mean, you're fine. You can say it.
So, I think it all began when he had some food. I either cooked it or warmed it up and it was hot. So he just kind of, you know, instead of blowing the food, he kind of inhaled it.
I slurped.
He slurped.
And I didn't think nothing of it.
But it went from one time to two times. Like, then that became a thing. I was like, when in the world did this become a thing? And so...
I mean, literally.
And so, I couldn't take it. I could not take it. Like, babe. So we had the conversation about it, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't even know that it happened." But anyway, this is what I do know. If I had not brought it up, it did not bother him. And so, oh well, we're at home, I'm chilling, this is what we're gonna do. Mm-hmm. Or this is how I'm gonna eat my food, whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I brought it up. He didn't take it in a offensive type way. And then not only did he not take it in an offensive way, I've noticed that my baby has okay, this is not how I'm going to eat around my wife.
That's exactly right.
You know, so he hasn't said anything. He just okay, duly noted, and he just did the things that he felt like he needed to do in order to move on. I mean, it could have been because he wants me to continue cooking, because you know, he does not. I'm sorry, babe.
Sorry.
He does not have to cook, right?
No, not at all.
So he's probably like, wait a minute. It probably wasn't that, but anyway, just being able to bring up that conversation and communicating it with each other, I think was important. It's a small, minor, but I think it was important for us to have that conversation and being able to move on from it, because then it's not a thing. It's no longer a thing.
Very true. One of the things that I love about my wife, she's very, she speaks her mind. She's vocal, which I'm fine with. Initially, I was like, come on now.
You have to be so.
But now it's like, whatever you embrace, you conquer. I embraced my wife's personality, and I conquered my.
Oh, I'm sure glad you could.
I conquered my I guess bothersome type feelings for how vocal she was, and so now it's a piece of cake. Like she was saying, one of the things that my wife, she's very, very clean. When I say very clean, like almost too clean. I don't know if there's an almost too clean, but I think she carries germs a little far. She goes a little above and beyond when it comes to germs and possible germs here, possible germs there. And literally, my wife, she will calculate from the present point of the path of the germ all the way and track it in her mind and keep it calculated until the very moment you sit down and rest to see where the germ has traveled. And so I've shared this with her.
Babe, that sounds like such an exaggeration. I mean, yes, I do have my germ situations.
It's a germadar, not a radar.
Germadar.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah. See, I mean, it's true, guys. And the good thing about it is being honest about it.
Yeah.
But I have mentioned it to her, and I can clearly see my wife working on that. I can clearly see her making adjustments. I can clearly see that, it's not as it's there, but it's not as over the top. It's more calm, it's more subtle, and also I respect that she feels that way. So it makes it even more more understandable. So again, work through those habits, but also be honest about them and voice them. Talk about them, because if you don't, it could become, again, annoying, and then that annoyance becomes arguments. It becomes silence. It becomes I'm bothered by you. It ends up being things that it should not be. A mountain, a molehill turned into a mountain.
Yeah, I think that is so important, especially when you're married. You're around your spouse all the time, and so we continue to be individuals even in our marriage. We know we're no longer two, we're one, but you still have to hold a space, as a human being, right?
Yes.
And so in doing that, you have to be, well, I won't say you. Let's just say it's good to be able to recognize what type of space you're holding when you have an impact with the person who is holding the space next to you.
That's beautiful.
And what we don't want to happen is walking around being bothered by our spouse.
Come on.
I think that is I think that could be so detrimental to a marriage if you feel like you're constantly being bothered or annoyed, especially when it could have been avoided by a simple conversation.
Absolutely.
By a simple, hey babe, let's talk about this, or you are getting on my nerves with that, and just however you have to bring it up, however it has to come up, but it's a necessary. I know we've kind of talked a little bit about our good habits, a little bit about our bad habits, but at the end of the day, conversations can be, and you know what, hold on, not just having a conversation about the bad things, having a conversation about those good habits.
Absolutely.
It felt really good to hear my husband saying these things that, are habits that we have that are good, that he appreciates. And I'm pretty sure it's the same thing for him as well. And so talk about those good habits. How can we have more of them? How do they impact our lives? Was there ever a time when we didn't do it? What's the difference between then and now? Or like I was mentioning, how can we take this habit to the next level? Level up our habits, our good habits.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So remember, your habits impact your marriage.
Yeah.
You're no longer two, but you're one. Babe, you want to speak into your life?
Yeah, so we speak into your life that you will be able to recognize those habits that are inside of you, that need to be worked on for the betterment of your marriage. Not only for the betterment of your marriage, but just for yourself in general. We speak that there will be peace when you communicate about it. We speak that it will open your relationship up to a new level.
Yes,
a new
that's
level
good.
of love, a new level of understanding, a new level of peace, a new level of romance, and that anything that could potentially come from bad habits, that those things begin to be minimized, and the good habits that you have in your relationship will be glorified and just begin to bloom and blossom in your marriage in such a way that you will not want to go a day without having those good habits with your spouse.
Wow.
Not a day.
Not a day.
Not a day.
Not a day. So we say hope to you all. Blessings to you all. You're no longer two, but you're one.
I almost forgot we were on camera for a minute.
Folks,
All right, guys.
thanks once again. Peace out.
Peace out.
See you next time.